Well guys, I thought I'd show you the engine in this little belly button car. This is a 2-liter, what they call it, a D-TEC engine, but this is not really, this car is made by Daewoo. It's made by Daewoo in, I guess it's South Korea, which at that point it's called, it was GM bottom out. It's called GM Daewoo. But the engine in this car is actually not a Daewoo engine. It's made by Holden in Australia. Was made by Holden in Australia. It's no longer made, but it was made for years and years and years, different versions of this engine. And this is a, like I said, 2-liter, 16 valve. I'm not sure of the lineage of this engine. I think they said it goes all the way back to the 70s, but I'm sure it's been updated many times since then and redesigned. But what's interesting, this is an aluminum headed engine on an iron block. That's a little unusual this day and age. Usually they're all aluminum, and I think there are versions. This is called a Family 2 engine, but I think there are versions that are all aluminum, but this one's not. So yeah, so I thought I'd show you this. I'm just kind of checking it over a little bit just to see what it's going to need. These engines were, I think, by and large, are pretty good engines. They had a couple of Achilles heels that people had problems with them, a lot of complaints about, and I don't know if this one's ever had it happen or not, but the first one is the timing belts are, I don't know, I guess they must have sourced a cheap timing belt and tensioner and all that when they built the engine, because there's been many instances of timing belt failures even before the timing belt was due to be changed out. I think I've said that already, but it's 60,000 miles on these. They're an interference engine, so you know what happens when the timing belt breaks on an interference engine. It interferes, and so the valves hit the pistons and the whole head and everything else come off and be repaired. So that's not a fun thing to do. So I don't know if this one's ever had that happen, and hopefully it never did. But the other thing that happens on them is they blow head gaskets. And this one, like I said, it's got almost 150,000 miles on it. So hopefully it's already experienced whatever problems like that it may have bound to experience. I notice it's got a head, it's got a valve cover gasket that's kind of weeping there. So I peeled back this timing belt cover just to take a look at it, because I told you in another video so I'm going to go ahead and do the timing belt, because I was curious what kind of shape it's actually in. So looked in here, and first of all, it's got a good old Gates timing belt on it. But the other thing I noticed, I don't know if this will focus in or not. I'll try. Let's see here. Let me back out here. You look at that timing belt. See those cracks in it right there? The outside's all cracked up and dried and everything. Well, being as how Gates are so good, such a good quality timing belt, for one to be in that shape, number one, it's been on there a long time. It's probably got 100,000 miles on it, so it's probably, you know, I'm estimating, but by the wear on it and the age, it's probably, that's probably only the second timing belt. So if it was done at 60,000 or thereabouts, so it's probably got close to what, 90,000 miles on it. So that looks about right. So that number one, and then number two, it's got to be changed right now before this thing drives any further, because when they're in that shape, there's not a question of if you need to do it, it's just how soon you can do it. Don't drive it. So yeah, plus it needs a couple tires put on anyway. I was looking at this one over here, and looks like somebody's put a used tire on it, because it's cracked too pretty bad. So anyway, a couple things to be done on. I'll do the maintenance, put a water pump. You can buy a whole kit of Gates components on it for the timing belt pretty cheap. And so I'll do that, put the timing belt on it, I'm not going to do a video on it because there's a guy's already done a couple videos, and his videos are excellent. They're better than mine. I always get a lot of people complaining because I don't like to edit videos, but he's done the sped up thing, so it's, you know, so that's a lesson for me to learn, to try to do better videos. Here they go. So anyway, I'll be doing that, putting time belt, water pump, maybe some hoses on it, fixing that valve cover gasket, and should be good to go. It runs good. Runs pretty doggone good. Let's have a new coil pack put on, I see. I drove around some last night, and it drives good. It ain't Honda, that's for sure, but I didn't expect it to be, so I'm satisfied with it. No complaints. It's got a few, like I said, a few warning lights on. It's got a check engine light on, and these cars are the Forenza, which is just a sedan version of this car. And this car are all known, complain. People all for years and complain about the check engine lights being on. So I'll check that. And it's got a brake light on, warning light on. But I noticed last night somebody almost pulled out in front of me, and I had to put the brakes on real quick. And when I did, it went out for a while, and then it came back on. So I believe it's got a low fluid warning in this reservoir, and it looks a little low. So I'm gonna top that up and see if that makes that go out. And it had a tire pressure warning on, and it's got a light on for the airbag, and that's something that Hyundai I had did the same thing. It was because of the connections under the seats. I don't know, maybe some big whoppers been in there and broke the connections or something. Okay guys, so that's it. I'm not going to devote a lot of time to this car. This is just going to be my daily car, and like a Honda, it's just going to be in the background. I'm not, you know, I can't get too wrapped up in something like this, because when I do, I don't devote enough time to my other stuff I want to do. So anyway, so that's that. And I'm just going to take around and shoot a dog here in a minute. And so yeah, so thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll try to do videos more often now and keep everybody up to speed with things. So alright, have a good one. Thanks for watching. See ya.